In a room nobody is supposed to know about, a man in a skull is shooting a plaster statue of Spider-Man. He takes its head off with one shot. The green thing applauding calls itself the Jackal. Do that to the real one, it says, and you will have done the world a service. The Jackal needles him about it. You like the death, it says, the killing, the joyful revenge. He answers that he kills only those who deserve killing, and the Jackal says, Spider-Man deserves to die. Neither of them is named yet. In February 1974, nobody reading this has heard of either man. Spider-Man, meanwhile, is bored. He is so sick of web-slinging he could throw the shooters down a drain. He photographs an armored car robbery for the money, webs the crew to a lamppost, and jokes his way through all of it. The police arrive to find the presents already wrapped. Even the crooks assume he is one of them. Because the whole city believes he murdered Norman Osborn. He cannot say otherwise without giving up who he is, and without telling his best friend what his father really was. At the paper, Jameson shoves a rival's front page at him. A vigilante has started a war on the mob. Jameson wants photographs, and the developing is coming out of Peter's wages. So he goes looking. He has no idea the man he is looking for has already been paid to kill him. His spider sense goes off like a fire alarm. A concussion shell takes an abandoned tenement apart beside him. If it had hit him instead, he says, he would be a mushroom cloud. There is a glint of silver on the far roof. He goes across. The man is heading for the airshaft, and Spider-Man assumes he is running. He has one question. Why did you try to kill me? He was not running. He was reaching for a spear gun. Your kind of scum has ruled this country too long, he says, and I am out to put a stop to it. The wire it fires is titanium, and it bundles Spider-Man up like thread on a spindle. While Spider-Man works at it, the man explains himself, and he is not gloating. It is not something he likes doing. It is simply something that has to be done, and he has nothing left to lose by doing it. Then, the wire that was rated to hold 10 men goes, and Spider-Man puts him down with one punch. Which is when the Jackal panics. If the Punisher is captured, he might talk, and the world is not ready to learn about the Jackal. So it waits for Spider-Man's back to turn and rakes him across the face with clawed gloves wired to deliver a shock. Blinded, he stumbles toward the edge of the roof. And the hired killer objects, not to the death, to the manner of it. He will not have a man die that way because it is not just. The Jackal asks who is concerned with justice. Spider-Man goes off the roof, and the Jackal is satisfied so long as the costume buffoon is dead. He is not dead. He blocks the pain out, catches a ledge, and goes through an office window instead. Back on the roof, the spear gun is still lying where it fell, and it carries a maker's tag, Reiss Armorers, to the trade. Then he goes home and sews his own costume, because the man who is paid to photograph himself cannot afford anything else. Downstairs, his best friend is coming apart. Harry Osborn knows what his father was, believes nobody is his friend, and is not going to be all right. And the professor stops Mary Jane in the street to ask, very politely, where Peter Parker is. Nothing in this issue connects him to anything, remember that he asked. The partnership, meanwhile, is finished. The Punisher will not accept that a man died by accident on his watch. If he is ever to live with himself, he says, he has to know he is doing the right thing, and letting a man die by accident does not qualify. The Jackal calls it soul-searching, tells him his usefulness is over, and turns to more profitable things now that Spider-Man is dead. The Punisher goes to the mechanic to replace the gun he lost, and Spider-Man, following the tag, goes to the same address. Inside, the old man who built the gun is lying dead, slashed open as though a cat had done it. The Punisher comes through the window and finds a masked man standing over his friend's body. Spider-Man tries to talk. He asks whether they have to keep going until one of them is killed. The answer is that the Punisher does not make deals with murderers, and especially not with the man who killed his friend. He tells him to look at the marks on the body. The Punisher has heard that kind of line before from men who would kill their own mothers. So Spider-Man stops arguing and knocks him out. Then he waits for him to wake up and makes him look properly. Claw marks. And the Punisher knows exactly what kind because he took a handful of them across the back of his own head from his partner. The gun Spider-Man found had the Armorer's plate still on it. The Punisher's did not. His was taken and swapped for a traceable one, planted where the police would find it, and the old man was killed so that the Punisher would be found standing over the body. He was never really the assassin. He was the frame. He works it out in about 4 seconds and goes after the man who used him. Spider-Man asks about the war he is fighting. He is told it is his own business and that maybe when he is dead it will mean something. Then the police arrive, and since Spider-Man is the only one still visible, they will lay the whole thing on him, as usual. And on a rooftop, the green thing that murders an old man to make a frame stick swears it will destroy him. It would take another year to find out who was under that mask.